Hello, everybody. So, car insurance. Back in the day, maybe growth, reasonable margins. Today, not as much. Competitive challenges, and the future does not look brighter, with self-driving cars with a shared economy promising to reduce the size of the market. Now, today, in car insurance, it's very hard to grow profitably. We believe this is due to the competitive situation across two areas that are key for the industry. The first one, risk prediction. Most insurers have similar data sets, they have similar tools in order to build tariffs, and therefore it is very hard to create a differential product from the risk scoring perspective. The second one is distribution. With the entrance of new players, such as aggregators, it is becoming increasingly hard to capture new customers with any promise other than a cheaper price. But it's not all bad news. At Drivies, we think we've figured out a formula to enable profitable growth in car insurance. Our formula is based on these same two elements, risk scoring, and we score differently because we have access to exclusive data on how people drive that allows us to much better discern the riskiest and the safest drivers. And we do this based on distribution through an app that addresses drivers at the right time. It's not an insurance app, it's a driver app that then provides an offer in insurance when the time is right and when the user is right. This, we believe, is the key to taking telematics to the mass market. Telematics so far has failed to reach the market, and we believe that it took a different kind of company to take it there. It doesn't take a traditional insurer, it doesn't take a technology company, it takes a product company. And I think product companies have different DNA. In the DNA of a product company, the first thing is that you go to the market directly. You know your customer, you know how to speak to them, you know what matters to them. And that you get by putting the user at the center. That you get by focusing first on value creation to then go onto value capture. And that you get by iterating really fast, by going to users once and again and experimenting with features, with services that make life better for your users. Finally, you also get that by exposing the data you create, by exposing your users and allowing access to third parties to build on top of your platform and your data. And that's precisely what we're doing. But I think I've been going on a theory long enough. I think that what we've done is build a product, and that all of this shows in the product we have built. So here's Laura to tell you a little bit about it.
Thanks, Anto. Hi. Hello, everyone. So at Drivies, we constantly iterate to learn what users need and love. So Drivies today is the result of all this learning. Let me show you then. So first thing we learned is that for users to give us access to their location data, our value proposition has to leverage our ability to measure driving. So we provide driving information, such as a driving score, based on behavioral components, such as how smooth I drive, or where I use the phone when driving, or even if I respect speed limits. But we also have some non-traditional touch, and we add insights and information based on aggregated driving data. For example, the time of day when I drive, or a distance of my journeys, and even how much time I spend on traffic jams and how I park. All this information is gathered from sensors, and it's composed of many data, and we also provide this data in a per-trip way. So for example, I can check a specific trip. But soon we realized that this was not enough for users to stay. So second thing we learned is that for users to stay and for user retention, we need rewards and gamification. Again, based on our ability to measure driving, we introduced what we call the Drivies coins concept. Drivies coins are earned just by driving. So the better I drive, the more Drivies coins and the faster I earn them. And then I can use them just to redeem perks and discounts around the car space with all our partners' ecosystem. So I get, for example, here, a discount for a garage, or for example, I can get money for gas, and most importantly, I can get an insurance discount. And this is how we position the car insurance at Drivies. It is not at the core of the value proposition. It is just another reward, obviously. It is highly integrated, and we've made a great effort to make it very seamless and very easy for the users to ask for a quote, to get prices, and we're integrated with many insurance partners in Spain. But at the end of the day, from a user's perspective, this is just another reward. Also, gamification is key for user engagement and for user retention. We've included challenges, and we've learned that a little bit of fun is great. So, for example, now I'm being challenged by Fernando Alonso, the famous Spanish Formula 1 driver, and I can accept the challenge. And I can also get a comparison with my colleagues and even check my position in the ranking. And like, hey, for example, this week I'm driving better than the boss. Good. Finally, third thing we learned is that no two users are the same. And Drivies needs to adapt to their unique context and preferences. And this is exactly what we do here at the home section. So this will be different for me than for you or for the next person, right? And since Drivies knows where I drive, I get information such as the cheapest gas station in my area. Also, I get content that's location-based, such as some suggestions on the weekend roads that I can take from my city. And also, I will only see rewards that I can redeem in my area, okay? Also, since Drivies knows about my car and my insurance, I get reminders which are relevant at the moment, to the moment. Like a reminder on the MOT, because I have to check my car now. And also in terms of the insurance, I only see it at the very beginning to generate awareness. And also when the time for the renewal in my insurance is approaching. I can also tell the app about my preferences, like this is one of my favorite contents, or I'm not interested and I want to remove it. So the app learns and adapts, and that makes the app more useful and more personal. It's for me, okay? So that's it for today, and I hand over to Sancho for the conclusions.
Okay, so this is probably not the first time you've heard about telematics and using these to score driving and to price risk more appropriately. We believe, so far, telematics has not taken off, not because the data is not valuable, but because there has been no cost-effective way to get this data. We have a way to get this data that is cost-effective. And we do that by providing sufficient value to attract and retain users for long enough. We do that with a discourse and with a product that's not solely centered around insurance, because that is just not enough. 3 key things in order to build this kind of product. The first one I would say is that DNA I spoke of before. You need to think of the user, and you probably cannot do that, and you cannot iterate as fast under a client-provider model. The second one, you need more than insurance. As I just said, your value prop cannot just be built on a discount. Third, you need a brand that's neutral. I think it's very hard to do this from a brand that's associated to any one insurance. And you need that brand also to be fun and risk-taking. Our metrics show that our vision is achievable. We know how to score drivers. We know that because we have data from 55,000 policyholders and 6,600 claims. We have created a frequency model based on this data. We know we can get users. Our cost to acquire a user is only €3, and we get 25% of them to stay for long enough to score them. And we know how to sell policies. We know how to convert to sale. Our current cost per sale is €150. Our objective for 2018 is to prove that the model scales in Spain. We plan to do so by selling 15,000 policies next year. Our ambition, however, is global, and we're currently looking for one partner, only one partner, to get exclusive access to our data and provide a benefit to our users. We believe we have something special in our hands. If some of you believe the same, I'll be happy to talk to you at our booth right out there. Thank you very much for your time.